All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are doing another viewer request video, and I'm telling you, nothing makes me happier than getting requests to cover stocks. First off, it's really hard to pick what I'm going to cover, so you guys actually help me by saying what to do. And honestly, it's a little humbling that people want my opinion on things I'm not covering, right? Obviously, nothing's financial advice. All we are doing is we are educated people sharing opinions, right? That's you guys help me when you tell me what I should look at, or if you tell me I'm wrong, and I'm trying to help you by telling you what these lines tell me, right? So it should be a two-way street here. So we're going to look at NVOS. We have looked at this one before, and then we're going to look at BBIG. I think that one's new. That one actually might have some lines because I know I've covered that just personally, so I'll at least delete any if it has any. But what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. There are these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like, share, comment, whatever, just if you can do anything, it does it well with the comments and with the algorithms and stuff. But even if you do nothing, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? For real, for real. And one more time, if there's anything you want me to cover, a penny stock, a big fundamental one, some ETFs, right? Literally, just I'd love to look at new things myself. It actually helps me look at new things too. So let's get into NVOS. Okay, so look, I'm not here to say I'm good and great and all that sort of stuff, but this thing literally played out exactly as expected, okay? All we did was this fake pump and then a really hard dump that should have been really easy to see, right? And I'm not going to go back and talk a lot about this week, but look, once we fell under the moving averages, it really made no, going from 14 to 10, that's a lot to lose, right? It only looks like a bit, but look, you can see it right here. That recovery was huge, right? So it's a really big drop. Dropping that many, you know what I mean? There's not that many sets of 4 cents in 14, you know what I'm saying? So this really did as expected. Look, what happened today? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I saw any news or anything like that, but this thing was in all-time lows, I think, right before today. I think it was. Yeah, just looking at this thing, right? There was nothing. Yeah, there's nothing below. Sorry that took too long. But yeah, look, I mean, if today didn't do this, there was no reason for it to just not keep going down, right? I will say it was a general good day in the market. There was some good news from I think the Treasury dropped some stuff that basically said, hey, they're going to try to protect more bank deposits and stuff like that. So there's stuff in the news to make stocks feel good, right? So don't underestimate this red that we might be able to take over. But honestly, for me, I think we got to get over 15 cents here. Actually, look, we smashed 3 moving averages today. So in a lot of ways, this thing has to close at least, yeah, 16 cents is the minimum. And honestly, I don't want to be, because see, here's the problem. I can only see 2 decimals on this thing. I want to be at roughly half of, that's almost 17 at least. Okay, look, 16 cents. I think anywhere in 16, either 16 and low 0 zeros, or 16 almost 17. That's what I'm going to call good confirmation. You can't close at 15. I do not want to see the candle right here, right? Because that's just not enough. And yeah, I like the volume increase. I do like the RSI. MACD's not quite there, but it's at least not horrible, right? But for me, I don't know if this thing justified that break. And hey, I'll also say, I don't really know the news that justified this spike either, right? And hey, maybe this was actually something big that obviously people stopped caring about now that the markets are well. Hey, maybe they're kind of going back. So hey, if you know why this thing initially popped, I would love to know, actually. I really don't know. But again, what matters to me tomorrow is confirming that we've actually broken these 3 moving averages. It's very likely that this thing might come down to 12. you know, this basically the 8 moving average. And look, you can see there was a point where it obviously gapped up and started here, but actually came down to there, right? I think some people thought, yeah, you know what, I think this is too good to be true. Let me just bank that 4 cent rise and, like, you know, let's see if it's going to drop again, right? So it makes sense that it fell down here. That said, it definitely kept going up after and actually surpassed it coming up to here, right? So did it closed better than I expected, because I think I saw it. You know, I don't like after hours. I don't let after hours or pre-market kind of fool my head, right? But I think it was near 30% after hours. When I woke up morning, it was around 22, 23. So the fact that it closed near 40 by the end of the day was actually a little surprising to me. Again, does that make me more confident? Does it make me happier that we're a little further up from the lines and on it? Yes and no, because I don't care about this first day, right? Like, if you watch my videos, you know I don't care about this first day, right? I care about confirmation. And even if you get something like this, I kept saying it, this isn't good confirmation. You should wait, right? And again, I know it sounds silly. I know it sounds like you're missing out on profits and stuff, right? But yeah, if you're intraday trading and you got your finger on the mouse, you know, you can disregard what I'm saying, right? It at least in a couple different ways. But if you're like me and you got stuff, like literally, I had stuff to do between this stock being at like that 20, 21, 22% range and then actually seeing it now, you know, here. Like, I had no idea because I ended up having a pretty busy intraday, just work and personal, right? So that's more along of what I talk about with like waiting for confirmation and stuff. But yeah, again, for me to believe we're gonna have to come here, and then ultimately, it's all about this 100 moving average, right? Like, we at least tried it here once, and that's really cool. But you know, nothing massive is going to happen until we get over this. The gap alone is well above that, right? So you do not think about this gap until we've crossed this. I'm telling you, thinking about this and getting greedy, I mean, you know, it's a dangerous thing. It really is, right? Like, take it one resistance at a time. If this breaks, then hey, we'll talk about it, right? But right now, sorry, I zoomed in too early. This 50 is still nothing I would really say we've like conquered, right? Because yeah, we break it here, but we couldn't like bounce, right? We're trying to come up to here again, right? I want to see how this 50 moving average reacts. Like, I still think we have to talk about the 50 before we even talk about breaking the 100. You know what I mean? So just keeping things in perspective. But again, 16 cents tomorrow will have me believing the 100 is doable at 18. I'm really curious at 19. I'll tell you that much, right? Like, for me, breaking 19 is probably way more interesting, even if it only stops here, than like trying to play between 14 and 19, or 14 and 18, really, because it has to get over 18 before I'm even interested. So again, that's just how I play, a little more conservative, right? But yeah, this looks good, but confirmation tomorrow matters way, way more. Because again, before this happened, all we were doing was going into all-time lows, right? So, and then, hey, for all I know, we just might be oscillating in what looks like a 4-line cluster, right? So just kind of keep that in mind as well. BB, oh my gosh, GI? No. Oh my gosh, Venture. Oh my gosh, what's the name of the stock I was supposed to do? Give me a second, I gotta pause this. This is embarrassing. Okay, I'm ready. That was super embarrassing. Hey, at least you know I didn't practice it because I couldn't even remember the stock. Oh man, too funny. I'm just zooming out real quick to see if there's any lines. Oh, there aren't any lines. I know I remember this stock. So look, I remember this stock being pretty hot. I know that there was a lot of chatter about it right here, obviously. I'm sure I even saw some chatter about it right here. I have not thought about this stock for a good while, and really, I can see why no one's been talking about this thing. Look, I do not like a stock that's under the 8 moving average, let alone a stock that's under both the 8 and the 20, right? So you can see the devastation that happens when you're under the 8. As I zoomed out, I also saw, look, I mean, all this thing, I keep zooming out. This is pretty much it. all we've really been doing for a pretty long time is trading under the 8, under the 20, and actually under the 50 as well, right? So just don't forget what this stock does. And look, what does it also do? It does these like monster pops then drops, right? It at least has been doing a couple more like few day sustained ups before it drops, right? Like even this one. But yeah, nonetheless, this at least screams pump and dump to me until the stock proves otherwise, okay? So what does that actually mean? At least start by closing over the 8 moving average twice, okay? Obviously, get over the 8 and the 20 moving average, this orange line up here, is really, really important to me, right? But just kind of looking at this chart, it wouldn't be a bad trade to go from here to here, especially if you have the time to do it intraday, right? But there's a lot of red and a lot of recovery, and this is actually a decent spacing of the moving averages, right? Because again, if you can break the 8, hopefully you make a run to the 20. From there, hopefully you make a run to like one of these. I'm not sure we're breaking that cluster of 2 lines right there. Okay, if we do, I see the purple line up there. I'm just zooming out. There it is, right? There's a couple of easy lines I also see to draw, right? So like this is something up here. This is definitely going to be something right here. That's kind of it, really, right? You can almost draw another one down here. I guess that's a little bit over the 20. No, I'm not going to do that. I think that's enough right there. Okay, so yeah, again, I think there's that. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. There's reason to watch this at least tomorrow, okay? There was a real bad down and a decent curve. I would, and I will actually, I'll set the alert for 37 cents. I want to know if this thing gets over the 8 moving average. An alert is not an immediate buy notification, but it's a, hey, come check it out, right? Because again, there's a decent move from here to here, which looks like a decent amount of 10% moves actually, because look, roughly every every 3 cents. So let's even say 4 cents. There's at least a 20% gap right there, going from 36 to 44, right? Because you can make 8 cents right there. From there, there's another move that could happen right there, right? I think 52. And again, if we test 52, there's at least reason to believe we might come to this like 58 range. Again, I just don't think we're going to break these two. But yeah, there's decent trading if it happens. But just one more time, nothing here looks good just yet. Obviously, it looks hopeful, but we're still well under the 8. We're still well under the 20. I mean, I'll look at the weekly real quick just to look at, yeah, can't expect anything more, right? Just well under the 8, and definitely just a baby test of the 20 right there, right? So long ways to go before this thing screams uptrend, sustaining. But hey, it seems like the markets are kind of doing okay. I'm trying to see what sector this thing is. Consumer cyclical. I don't know if that really is going to do much with tech or not. But again, a move from 36 to this potential high of 60, that's an almost 50% move, right? So that's at least well worth watching. And hey, I hope you know at least, if this bad boy goes below 34 cents, there's no reason to believe it won't go down to 30 or worse, right? So yeah, I think those are my thoughts here. Again, if you disagree, I won't be offended. Throw them in the comments. Otherwise, hey, throw some more tickers for me to look at it. It makes me smile when I see it, honestly. Hey, thank you.